It's breeding season and it is day 12 in the Hanky Panky pasture. And now if mares cycle over 21 days on average, and for like 5 to 7 days of that cycle, they're in season in estrus. So Belle here, the mare that we are waiting to come into season for, if she arrived at the very end of her last cycle and she only has a short cycle of 5 days, she should still be coming into season. Oh, what is it, lads? Sorry, I got distracted by Harley having a little meltdown about something. Was that a big stinging something or other? Something big and buzzy? Belle should still be coming into season within the next 4 days. But I do have a bit of a confession. I've just applied fresh raddle paint there on Belle's bottom, but for the last couple of days, she hasn't had any on. This is because I wanted to switch from orange to red because red is the best one. And I just don't know that this ninja isn't going to bypass the orange paint somehow. So I wanted to get the red on her, but I couldn't find the red paint. It wasn't where I thought it was going to be. Left it a day, went to looking somewhere else. Couldn't find it there either. As another day's gone by, she had no paint on her. So if somehow this mare ends up in foal and we're like, how on earth did that happen? It'll be in the last 2 days when she didn't have any raddle paint on. But there have been no other signs or symptoms. You would normally expect to see the mare behaving a bit in season. You would expect to see her winking, splashing. Even if you didn't see any of that behaviour, you would expect to see a bit round her back end, a bit of like a mucky area, you know, where she's been splashing. And especially if they've been active. So he's got a little hole in the middle of his head. We'd be filling with summer fly cream, haven't we? I've just rubbed that all out again. Right, well, I'll do that again in a minute. Although this does keep the flies out mostly, doesn't it? So even if he was keeping all his activities to nighttime and not showing us, and even if she was very non-obvious about being in season, very discreet about being in season, you would expect to see something on her, some sign that they've been active. You know what I'm saying? But longer term followers will be screaming at me now saying, yes, but remember Letty. And this did happen with Letty. There was nothing. There was no evidence whatsoever, but she ended up in foal. So somebody asked me, will we scan Belle even if we see nothing? Will we still scan her for pregnancy? I'm like, yeah, I guess we will, but it's how do you choose a point? So normally you would scan a mare 14 to 17 days after last cover. We're doing it from last cover. And that's when you can hopefully catch a pregnancy at a point where you can see the embryos. They are visible, but they haven't yet implanted, which means that if there are 2 of them, you can eliminate one. So you time it carefully based on when they're active. If you don't know when they're active, how do you choose it? Like I could say, right, we'll scan 17 days from the day she arrived, but that would seem crazy because there's been clearly nothing, or has there? I don't know how to know because you asked for it out. Just bit my own lip. Thanks. Well, sort of your fault, but mostly my fault. Anyway, we have got no winking, no splashing. He's actually showing no interest. He's schlonging occasionally. We had a good schlong early, didn't we? Not like we. He schlonged and I put some cream on it because we have got a bit of a graze on it, my friend, which the flies like. There is no evidence at all of any interest. And that could just be because Belle isn't yet in season and at some point in the next few days, she will come into season. She might have a long cycle. She might be more of like a 24-day cycle maybe, but she has been scanned. She is cycling normally and it's not so late in the year that we would think that she wouldn't come into season or there'd be any reason that she wouldn't. And this guy normally gets the job done. So I just don't know what we're going to do, Harley. When are we going to scan? I suppose we don't worry about it for the next few days while there's still just time for her to come into season and we can still say it's because she's not coming to season. Once we get past the point where we're like, she must have had a season, then I don't know. Then we try to think when would be a good time to scan. Immediately? Every day? The thing is, he's not even doing what our other stallion Patrick does, where he like calls to the mare. If he would call to her, we could look at her response physically, but he's not even doing that. I've not even seen him call to her to like see, you know, what she thinks of him. Because often the mares will respond to that with a wink and a splash if they're starting to come into season. Maybe he'll do that soon. Maybe that's coming. Maybe in the next few days, that's what's going to happen. But I do feel like this might be a complete mystery pregnancy. I'm thinking she's going to get in foal and we're not going to know when or how. Am I missing something? Can you guys see something that I'm missing? I mean, what else can I do? We've got raddle paint on. We're in here every day. We've got a camera on. There's nothing. I feel like I'm missing something, but there isn't. There's nothing between them. There's no activity. They don't talk to each other. They don't, you know, they hang out near each other, but she pulls faces at him. He doesn't try. Genuinely, for now, we're putting it down to she's just not in season yet. Stay tuned. Maybe the Hanky Panky pasture is having some secret Hanky Panky, or maybe it's just not happened yet and it's on its way. Stay tuned.